Good evening, everybody. We have a special time with His Majesty King Tiburcio Villamor Marcos, Tallano Tagean IV, with my beloved daddy, Archbishop Abraham Pinheiro, a Freemason all over the world. So, what is your message for the Filipino people, Your Majesty?
My message is just believing that I will be working with our Mayor, President Digong. I'm ready to bankroll our Central Bank of the Philippines. This is the right time. We'll make sure that the 100 million plus Filipinos will be our major recipient and beneficiaries. We have to make sure that our life is beautiful. Gawin na natin lahat ang ikabubuti natin. I know you understand me, Brother Digong. You'll make the difference, brother. Kung gawin natin ito, hindi ko naman ito credit. Credit mo lahat ito. I'm willing. Now here I am. Give it to everybody. Even sa palupa natin. I'll give you the basbas. I don't care. As long as all Filipinos will be our recipient, beneficiary. That's what we have to do. Gawin na natin.
Okay.
Libre ang tubig, libre ang kuryente, libre ang edukasyon, all the way to college, doctoral dissertation. Libre na ang edukasyon. No? We'll build a massive na eskwelahan. And libre na rin ang hospitalization, pati medicina, libre. More so, gawin na natin. This is our right time. We can print so much money without violation of the antitrust, or we're not actually engaging in any of the money laundering laws, or perhaps we are not in violation of antitrust to International Monetary Fund rules. So we back up our gold. We can print now money. There are too many ways for us to do. And bigyan na rin natin lahat, every born Filipino. Hindi naman ako kandidato, but we have to commit ourselves na our recipient beneficiaries are the mayoryang Filipino, the 100 million Filipino, at least you can share them 5 million pesos. It's born Filipino. Napakaganda yan. And again, pag magawa natin ito, we will build a massive housing or pabahay to everybody. No. You have only 2 years and a few months to go, Brother Digong. Please. Hindi ko credit ito, Brother Digong, but I'll give you the basbas. Pamigay mo na yan sa mga mahihirap. We'll do a massive national economic development infrastructure dito sa Pilipinas and industrialization. So, wala nang mahirap na Filipino. That's our mission, brother. And hindi ko credit yan. Credit mo yan. Apo Digong. It's your credit. So please, set this up as your legacy. Na hindi legacy na masama. Napakaganda itong sinishare ko sa iyo. Please. I'm ready, willing, and able to work with you. I will serve as your chairman of the board of the Central Bank of the Philippines and back up our central bank to print money for the benefit of the 100 million plus Filipinos and the mayoryang Filipino. Again, brother, I work with the blessings of the Jesus, God, Allah, Yeshua. The two of us is in good hands. Brother Digong, I thank you for being able to help this process and for the benefit of all of us, especially Filipinos.
Next question, sir. How can you make the Bangko Sentral of Pilipinas as the central bank of central banks of the world?
Very simple, Brother Digong. Ang Central Bank of the Philippines, napakayaman natin dito. We have gold, we have diamond, we have platinum. We are actually the bankero ng buong mundo. We are only actually renewing the bilateral, trilateral Minesfield breakthrough agreement, loan proviso, or loan provide. So, we have everything here in the Philippines. We are the richest country in the world.
So next question, sir. What is the consequence, just in case, of President Duterte's failure to listen to your requests?
Brother Digong, I'm not a Superman. I'm not God. I'm only a tool. I'm only a messenger. I cannot even tell that I'm a Messiah. But this I'm gonna tell you. It's not me. Hindi po ako ang nabitray mo. You betrayed the 100 million Filipinos pag hindi mo ginawa ito. And this I promise you, if you didn't do this within your term, I'll promise you that the whole world bitbitin ka, and that will be the reckoning.
Could you please explain bitbitin?
Well,
Straightforward, sir. Straight to the point. Man-to-man talk.
it's not me. It will be the whole world that will actually give you your own future. In short, all the 100 million Filipinos will be after you.
So legally speaking, what is the consequence to President
Consequences is
Duterte? Legally speaking.
they knew that he failed every other 100 million Filipinos. He betrayed them for giving him a chance to become a president and leader of this country. If he will not be able to work this out with us and with Alpha Omega.
Can you explain to us what is your embargo power and how you will implement it?
Well, the embargo power is actually our power to closure even our central bank, because that has something to do with the Bailey law, the Olmsted law that has been formatted by the international community, and it will be my affiant, my movant, and my testators will be the International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court. Then I can now execute the writ of execution, demolition warrant, warrant of arrest, and warrant of foreclosure. So help me God for that purpose.
Is it true that you are the owner of the original Central Bank of the Philippines? And what is your proof?
Definitely. The Central Bank of the Philippines is chartered by my mother and the whole world.
Who is your mother?
My mother is Queen Enemesia Cruzan Villamor, Tallano.
Married to?
Married to my father, our former president, Ferdinand Edralin. Some of them said Chua Marcos.
So why is she unknown in history?
Are you referring to my mother?
Yes, sir.
My
The queen.
mother is not unknown. She's known, with the exception that we've been a private family. We don't want to actually blow that to the media. But it's known by the whole world. My mother chartered in 1950 the Central Bank of the Philippines with a capitalization of 400,000 metric ton of gold, or 617,000 metric ton of gold out. And with a capital, registered capital, that has been deposited at the Central Bank of the Philippines of 365 million US dollars. But my family, you have to consider, with the Banco Espanol, Filipina, Isabel II, and the ancestral eminent domain of Hacienda Filipina Archipelago, our family capital back in 1950, we have 5 trillion US dollars. I believe even today, no family have that kind of capital. Again, 1950, my family, Marcos, Tallano, Tagean family, we have 5 trillion US dollars capital.
So, how can you prove that you really own the Central Bank of the Philippines?
From birth, I have all the family last will and testament. The ownership of the Philippine archipelago through my great-great-great-great-grandfather, from all the way to Emperor Marcus Ulpius Trajanus, Trajan of Rome, to the Habsburg family, all the way down to King Philip II, Queen Isabella II of Spain, and King Ferdinand of Spain. Also is known to be Prince Julian Oberbeck MacLeod, Tallano. And all the way to my mother, I inherited the asset of the king of recognized asset nation. And the last surviving emperor of the Roman Empire. Or perhaps the last surviving emperor of the Tang Dynasty, Ming Dynasty, and the Qing Dynasty here in Asia.
So, what is your great reward to the government officers who will cooperate with you to recover your ownership of the Central Bank of the Philippines? You, of course,
everybody that is working with the government, all of you are all employees. All of you are given a chance to work this process. I would really appreciate, we should not corrupt this process. We have to work together. And we have to do it right. And we have to share it to everybody.
You are in the process of submitting your affidavit of ownership to the Supreme Court magistrates. So what is your message to them?
That has been submitted long time ago, and in the first place, the original records originated at the Supreme Court of the Philippines. Any other adjudication or court order originated from the Supreme Court. And judge is actually following the rules. I'm protected with 16 court orders and of being able to own with my family the whole eminent domain of the Hacienda Filipina Archipelago, OCTT, the 01-4. Its even is protected by treaties. 1898, Treaty of Paris. 1928, 1934. Treaty of Versailles. That was the reason why the TOB mother boxes and baby boxes are here. These are all our receipts. And the third treaty was 1940-1950. It's the Treaty of Amity, of Understanding, in concordance with Perpetual Agreement. And that was actually the bilateral Mansfield Breakthrough Agreement of a 60-year loan proviso or provide.
What if the Supreme Court justices disregard your 16 Supreme Court orders? What you gonna do to them? What if?
I believe there is a process of a judicial administration. Our nation is a corporation, and I believe the judicial system is strong enough. I know that because of the massive corruption, our judicial system become as a kangaroo court. And it's known all over the world. But today, I'm expecting that we have a very strong judicial system. And I'm there to support the judicial system of the Republic of the Philippines and its sovereignty, that I will fight for a cause, for a nation to nation, peace, and especially to our judicial mechanism. This has to be properly adjudicated.
You still have trust and confidence in our Supreme Court in spite of the fact that your complaint, the class suit of the century, is still pending?
Actually, they are all in default because I have even, as I've said then, I have the judges and juries of the United Nations Security Council, International Court of Justice, and the International Criminal Court with me as affiant, movant, and testators. They have to go by the rules. I'm exercising now the Olmsted Law, the Bailey-Baylor embargo, the Embargo Act of 1807. That perhaps, if this is not understood by our juries or by our judicial system, then I rest my case. And I'll put it this way. Ignorance of the law excuses no one.
Can you also confiscate Supreme Court and its real estate properties? Because they do not own the land.
Definitely.
Can you confiscate
Of course.
the Supreme Court? And
But, well, all this property belong
to you?
to all of us. So it's a parity agreement between our government and our family. If it's needed by our government, we'll give it to the government. It could have been court offices, or perhaps Congress offices, or maybe police precinct, municipal buildings, government schools.
What if the government itself does not acknowledge you? What you gonna do?
They will. They will acknowledge what they have written. As I've said, we have 16 court orders with finality. They are all at the archive and bank section of the Supreme Court. How can they be able to excuse themselves from the written law? And I believe and unless the Blue Ribbon Committee will probably squash all our laws. But I believe there is a strong judicial system that is actually imposed in our sovereignty.
So, any more additional message to the Filipino people?
Finally, I just wanted that each and everyone will have a good life, have I wish that everybody will benefit from what we have.
So, why you decided to share your wealth with the Filipino people instead of just keeping it on your own?
am 71 years old. I cannot bring this wealth in heaven. I'll share it to everybody, and I'll share it to humanity. And that's my mission.
Okay. Can you tell us what is the special role of our beloved Archbishop to this project?
Perhaps it will be my beloved chaplain, my nuncio, my archbishop, my elder. It's up to him to be able to perhaps leave his message and give his contribution.
So what is your contribution, Archbishop? What is the best contribution you can do for the Philippines?
My admonition in general, regardless of faith, sect, or religion, all humanity as to the role of Abraham in the old, and as Abraham today, no racial discrimination. Every wealth that our beloved King is trying to distribute among the 108 million Filipinos that shall receive at least 5 million pesos to be distributed equally through my blessings and with the help of all our organic generals of Alpha Omega, Universal Queen of Queens generals, including our HIPC generals, to distribute his wealth. I'll do it in his behalf. And with the blessings of the Almighty God and Father of all humanity.
How you will distribute 5 million pesos for every Filipino? In cash? In check?
Easily, I have already the plans.
So what are your plans?
Because I cannot distribute these things bodily, but I have to employ the services of our banks by giving them ATM cards for them to withdraw their benefits from the releases of our beloved King.
Will it not cause inflation or excessive money supply in the Philippines?
Cannot cause inflation.
Why?
Because the money is already been deposited in commercial banks by the use of this power printing of money for the humanity, and it is already been planned by our beloved King.
It means
that to give the what you call balance of our economic situation.
It means
through the central bank.
That the endowment is available to all Filipinos without qualification?
Well,
or only responsible Filipinos?
Mostly.
Because he mentioned that even the newly borns are included.
The newly born babies cannot receive, but it is reserved for them. You know that. As educated people in the world, they are only entitled to receive such when they are already matured and with reason. But while they are young, all these benefits shall be given to them through education and whatever endowment that we can give them.
Will it not create imbalances in our society? Because, for example, jeepney drivers may not work anymore. When you give them...
No, it will not.
Why?
It will not.
Some tricycle drivers, janitors,
We have
will they not stop working as janitors?
they will not, because they are dedicated to serve the country. Okay?
So how are you sure that the money will not fall into corruption?
Cannot be a corruption, because corruption only prosper when the people are impoverished. But when they have money, nobody can corrupt the people. Okay? And this is the time that the wealth of the
So,
king is distributed not only in the Philippines but throughout the world.
it means that you're gonna distribute the money to each person in the whole world?
And right now, there is no such thing as inflation because there is a balance of wealth. All countries, 179 banks filled with his gold bullion. And different money out of those gold bullions all over the world to give what you call economic balance and economic situation of all inhabitants of the whole world.
Okay, why only now, not during the time of Marcos, when he was still there? Why only now? When he was still in power, why you did not take advantage of this when he was still in power?
There was no authority yet, and the maturity of the mind-spelled breakthrough successors agreement was not yet spelled or implemented, and the authority is with him. It's only now that he is now going to release this, open it up for the whole humanity.
So how about Mommy? What is your contribution to this project?
Well, I am only in support of Daddy, Bishop Abraham. That is all.
How about Chris? You are the special aide-de-camp of Our Majesty. What can you say to our officers of the Alpha Omega and the...
hard labor and determination and understanding the job with the king.
Can you describe our king?
It's very simple.
His good character. First.
Simple, quiet, and very understanding.
Next, character.
You will see.
Is he like King Solomon with many?
Yes.
How many?
Many.
How many?
So many.
Okay, sir. Last question. Are you related to King Solomon by blood? Please tell me. Please tell us the truth. Because I researched that before you answer.
By through our family tree, I believe it's actually related with King Solomon, King David. It's my only.
So you are the living Knights of Templar.
Right now, yes.
So, am I correct in my conclusion that you are the spiritual King Solomon of Israel? As embodied in the $1 bill?
I don't know. That still is actually.
You are the spiritual King Solomon of Israel. The embodiment of the...
My whole senses. It's embodied in the litany, or it's embodied with God, creation, and the universe, basically.
You are the spiritual King Solomon of Israel because you inherited his massive treasures through the Knights of Templar, passed through the Freemasons who established United States of America. Is that true?
That was actually the
Are you a Freemason, sir?
history. I will accept I am.
Are you at 33 degree or higher than 33 degree Freemason?
Perhaps being a Templar, I'm actually a Templar.
33 degree?
Yes. I'm on top of the Templar.
In the Washington, D.C.?
Today, I'm known to be the King of Kings and the City Corporation of London. Templar.
So, am I correct in my conclusion that the Washington, D.C. is specially built for you, for the New World Order,
Perhaps it is, yes.
including the Vatican? And the constellation of stars, the 7 stars, your 7 stars are based on the 7-star constellation. Am I correct?
Yes, because of the seventh wiring star.
Okay. Let's take advantage of this opportunity. Is it true that this star in this badge, ladies and gentlemen, listen very carefully. Is it true that this star in this badge refers to the Pentagon?
Yes.
Alpha Omega Pentagon.
Yes.
Not only the Alpha Omega Pentagon,
Right?
but
Templars.
look at the Horus Eye. That's the Coeptis of the
Anuit
new
Coeptis.
world order of the ages.
Okay, sir. This is the $1 bill that you gave me. Can you explain your Anuit Coeptis there? Let's take advantage of this opportunity. Because as far as I know, as far as what I did, I overlaid this portion as alpha over this portion as omega. When they combine together, 3 stars are left. It refers to the 3 stars of the Philippine flag.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
So the Philippine flag does not refer to the Philippines, but it refers to Alpha and Omega.
Yes. Correct.
The beginning and the end, and that's the Alpha Omega.
So it represents you. So it's something never heard before. So the message is the 3 stars as found in the Philippine flag does not refer to the 3 provinces because we have 4 major islands. What are they?
The 3 obelisks represent the Philippine archipelago. That's
The 3?
the 3 obelisks,
Yes.
stars,
Yes.
represent our country.
Yes. As far as I know, they represent Orion,
Yes.
not the 3 islands. Because we have 4 major islands as found in OC301-4. And the star, the sun in the middle, it refers to the Star of David. It may also refer to Star of Tiburcio. Because that star, the blessed star, when it is aligned to in Vatican, it is aligned directly to Tiber River, named after you, or
Yes,
your name was derived from Tiburcio,
Because
Tiber
of
River.
the Tiber River. That's what it is. Yes.
Tiberius River.
Okay,
In Italy, Tiber River.
yes sir.
But there was a name called by the emperors, Tiburcios also. And that originates my name now as Tiburcio.
I cracked the code correctly, huh?
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my beloved Filipinos, I'm very proud to reveal to you the truth that the Philippine flag does not refer to the Philippines, but it refers to our beloved King, His Majesty, King Tiburcio Villamor Marcos Tallano. It was designed by his Freemasonic brethren prior to his birth.
Yes.
Actually, if you refer to King Solomon's treasures, the wealth of King TVM is thousands of years in the making.
Yes.
And this is only the moment of time of his
That was the
fulfillment.
reason why we have the golden lily site of the Garden of Eden here in our country.
So, you mentioned Garden of Eden. Is it true that Garden of Eden is located here in the Philippines?
Yes. And
This is Ophir.
Yes.
it's also the golden lily site of Ophir. In fact, we had the golden lily site of the Queen of Ziba.
Shiva.
She's from
Okay.
Cebu.
One of the, yeah.
And more so, we have the golden lily site of Lemuria. Lemuria.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it true that the Spanish colonization of the Philippines for 333 years prepared your massive wealth, helped prepare your massive wealth for the Filipinos? Because they
Yes.
secured all the lands
They did.
and then they had a title, OCT 01-4, awarded by the British government.
Through Treaty of Paris.
Yes.
Pretty much, Jonathan, you are my archivist. You are my famous technocrat, writer, and research scientist. I admire your academe.
So,
To me, you're a world-class reporter.
is it true, sir, that the Vatican is only a private corporation?
The Vatican.
Make no mistake, the Vatican has two administration. One is what we call the Vatican ecclesiastical, economical, sectarian religion. And the second part of the Vatican is the ambassadorship, called Consiglieri Fondazioni di Vaticano.
Yes.
That was before the Banco Ambrosiano, which is also the business sector of the Vatican, which is controlled by the Jesuits.
Yeah.
And these Jesuits are considered to be the superior general, and the name called Black Pope.
So you were a black pope. And what is your function when you were
I
a black
will
pope?
admit to you, during the early 80s years, like from 1979 to 1986, and 1985,
So what was your function as a black pope?
well, I am the ambassador of the foundation of the Vatican, and also
So the white pope is only a public front for the black pope?
no, as I've said,
Or are they
The
separate?
white Pope is actually our ecclesiastical educator of
So why there is a black pope?
the diocese of Roman Catholicism.
It appears that the black pope is more powerful than the white pope.
I don't know, you could say it that way because the superior general served as the ambassador of the business sector of the Vatican.
Okay, is it true also that the Vatican owns the United States of America?
Well, pretty much there are three prunes that actually administer the U.S. government. First is the District of Columbia. And that's the judicial system, the Blue Ribbon Committee. I'm referring now to the senators and congressmen. And the military arm. That's the District of Columbia. The second part is what we call then the presence now of the Jesuits that serve as an arbiter for the ecclesiastical religion or the religious doctrine. And the third part is actually the City Corporation of London, which now I belong to, among the King of Kings.
You belong to the city of corporation or you own the corporation?
I pretty much is now the Templar because I'm the person behind the king of recognized asset nation.
Why it seems that the Rothschilds are far away from you?
The
It seems-
Rothschild or the Rockefellers, the Morgans, the Chandinis, and the Brandini. They are basically bankers. Well, they serve as our bankero. But the gold that is deposited all over the world belong to us, belong to our family, and belong to the Filipinos. And this I share to all born Filipinos, or 100 million Filipinos. We are the bankero, we are the banker. We are bankrolling the whole world. And again, I would like to emphasize, this is owned by our family. Of course, I'm leading all of you. I lead the leadership, but we own this gold. All the 100 million plus Filipinos. That bankrolls the whole world.
So why White House is located in Washington, D.C. when Washington, D.C. is not part of the United States, nor of state of Washington? So why the President of the United States is there in a completely sovereign state that belongs to you? What does it mean? Is Donald Trump under you? Straight to the point, no more
I
beating
cannot,
about the...
in short,
Because his
the
office-
president is my POTUS. I don't know if you understand what POTUS is,
President
but
of the United States.
the state by itself is a corporation.
So why is there in your state? In your White House is in your state,
They,
in your territory, not in the United States.
they all are being appointed or it has been done through electoral college in U.S. we pick and choose who will lead the country.
Okay. So what is your relationship to Donald Trump? Please tell us.
Donald Trump, mother is McLeod. My great grandmother is Oberbeck McLeod Dent. So she's actually a cousin.
A cousin.
Yes. Donald Trump is my cousin.
So since White House is in your territory, can you overrule the White House?
Well, there are rules of engagement. There are laws embodied by the Constitution of the United States. Of course, we silently adhere to the constitutionality.
But there is a separate constitution in Washington D.C. known as Lex 40, separate from the U.S. Constitution. Sa Roman,
That I will only actually entertain if given a chance to really have to
if White House is in your territory,
deeply
is
involved.
under your constitution, not under the Constitution of the United States.
that I don't even know how to answer. Perhaps
Even the U.S. Capitol.
I will leave that to among our juries and our brains, our technocrats, to address that problem.
As far as I know, all U.S. presidents are under the code of King of Recognized Asset Nations, since George Washington up to the present. Those who resisted, they are already retired from the service.
Again,
Is
my
that true?
beloved Jonathan, you are my technocrat. As I've said, you're my technical person.
So,
I believe we can deliver that message overboard. So I will push it back to you, and we'll perhaps share this
it's already written.
unprecedented
It's already written in
situation that
It's already
we are
written, sir.
discussing.
The Rothschilds have a habit of murdering U.S. presidents who don't follow their orders.
Well, again,
The most popular one is John F. Kennedy.
again,
M16, MY 6 intelligence operation.
we cannot actually just pinpoint any one of these situation or crimes committed or that has been passed. I don't even know how to address it objectively, because you're asking me questions that history dictates.
So, any more messages, sir? For the enlightenment of all
I
Filipinos?
believe I have been talking too much.
You're not talking too much. You are revealing what Filipinos do not know yet.
And until then, if there are pressing other responsibilities and obligations, I'll be more than happy
Because our
to
history is
share and contribute.
because our history is distorted.
That we understand, as I've said, if we have to rewrite our history, we have to do so for the benefit of our young and for the benefit of
You know, sir, honestly speaking, aside from Jesus Christ, you're the most important person you ever lived. Because
My
of this.
beloved Jonathan, I cannot claim so.
How about Archbishop? What you can say about that? Is that true? In terms of wealth, in terms of King Solomon's treasures.
Well, successor. That is successor honors or heirs.
You're much better than King Solomon because King Solomon was not able to share the wealth.
Well then, if this is
Imagine, you're the only...
our pride and privilege, and if this is what Lord God, Jesus, Allah, wishes me to do, to contribute or to share it for the good of humanity, I'll do it. And that's my mission.
You're the most
To
important person in history aside from Jesus Christ. Can you tell me who is the person, for example, Washington D.C. Is Washington D.C. especially designed for you? Can you tell me any other person designed for Washington D.C.? Only you. Because the monument
I
has...
don't even know how to address what you've been
Yes.
asking me.
How about the Vatican,
My
especially designed for you?
beloved, Jonathan.
You
Well then.
are the emperor of the three city states that rule the world.
I realize that. But
City of
I can
London.
I have only one life. And I have
You're still young, sir, because
a
Archbishop is already...
I have my right of sharing it, as
Yeah.
I've said, to humanity and to the whole world.
How about Archbishop? Any messages before we end this interview?
Well, his message is enough because he's the one making that decision to share it to the whole world.
How about
For humanity.
our special assistant, AD Camp? Chris. It's your time to shine to the world. Smile. You may find your dream girl here.
I'm okay.
Someone may fall in love with your face. Looking at Facebook.
Umpisa na nating documentation para sa pagpapail natin. So, hoping na matapos na next month, may paano natin.
Ano ang mensahe mo sa mga ating mga kaibigan?
Patuloy lang na magsuporta sa atin, ating mga kasamahan, ating mga kaibigan, ating mga tagahanga, at lalo higit ang ating mga taga-ibig sa Alpha Omega.
Meron tayong bisita ngayon, si Colonel, ano ba pangalan niyo, sir?
Radura.
Ano po ang mensahe niyo para sa ating...
Okay, this is just the first time I met the king, and with his projects, I believe that it will develop the whole country. And to the best of my ability, I can say what my knowledge is.
Ano ba may tutulong niyo po para sa ating sambahayan ng Pilipino?
Yeah, I was then in the Air Force, and I belong to the Corps of Engineers. So
Are you a
maybe-
pilot, sir?
No, I belong to the Corps of Engineers, so I believe I can help in the development of the community.
Okay.
Okay?
Sir, as a pilot, before, let us take advantage of this, no? As a pilot, what can you contribute to? Will you, what planes have you flown?
Well, actually, I had good purpose for our country. Martin Marietta Sperry Lockheed is one of the companies that corporation that we have supported through our trust fund, and all those other old companies like Caterpillar, General Electric, and Grumman. But I'll go back to Martin Marietta is very Lockheed. If you talk of the planes, I have already planned to bring in for the security of our country.
What kind of plane, sir?
Actually, I have not. 60 units, again, 60 units of the F-16 or the better version, the F-18, which is already considered to be an advanced plane equivalent to the Raptor 22 of Lockheed Martin Marietta. And we just have to actually put options to that plane, and it will work just like any other stealth plane. Again, there are 60 units that I'm ready to bring in to our country
Talking
as
of,
part of the compromise agreement with the U.S. government.
talking about planes, sir, what is your message to Lucio Tan?
Lucio, you know very well, Lucio, you don't own the Philippine airline. You don't own Philippine National Bank. Of course, Sir Lucio, or Dr. Lucio Tan, you took my money. You used my funds to put your business. We have given you with my father all this right. I'm hoping that soon as we'll meet, we will have a compromise. I know you're a very good manager. But make sure that you have to share it to the Filipino people. That's all my assurance to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Majesty, for this wonderful interview with you. We hope that there will be more moments with you to share your priceless information for the Filipino people. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
How about,
Thank you.
how
God
about
bless
Mami?
you.
Thank you.
How about Kuya?
Fine.
Colonel?
Thank you and God bless us all
Pogi. Okay.
For recognition.